It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Monday, June 24th. Is that local rock legends, The Replacements, I hear?
Tis.
Barely. It is. Oh, come on, man. I mean, and I know at least one person's like, well, it's not the best Replacement song. It's not. No one says it is. But hey, it's great to hear Paul Westerberg at 6 a.m. any day. I'll take it. Good Monday morning, everybody. First things first, let's just cut right to the chase. Friday night was pretty great.
Yeah, it was. Are you talking about the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Was there something else?
No,
the cruise. That's right. Like all of us, I drove out to Harriet Island going, man, the rain, and it's going to be wet and gross and nasty, and it's not. And the second the boat left, it was awesome. It was great. Doesn't matter what the weather was doing. Largely because everybody that came out there was really cool and having fun, and I really enjoyed, as I tend to do, what do they call that? Shooting the bull, hanging out, talking with a lot of the great listeners. Brandy took home the cheese. Our KQ Karaoke Cruise winner, Brandy, congratulations, dear. Very wonderfully done. A lot of great singing going on the boat that night. And overall, just an absolute smashing success. So many thanks to everybody who came out.
Yeah, man, they entertained us far more than I just kept thinking, man, they entertained us a lot more than we could possibly entertain them.
I know. And a few minutes in, I just stopped even trying. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to walk around and chat and just enjoy the fact that I'm not singing. And that's exactly what I did.
Amazing singers and performances out there. And I had that thought before I was even smashed. After I was smashed, I thought, wow, this is the greatest concert I've ever been to.
Like most musical experiences, the KQ Karaoke Cruise way better the more you drink. But that doesn't mean it wasn't, like you said, though, it doesn't mean it wasn't good sober. It just got really, really good. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody went overboard.
Not that we know of.
All right, that's cool.
That's technically good, over the rails, but there was some shenanigans.
As there always are. And this is probably a perfect time to mention that we got another cruise coming up. KQ's Rock the Boat 80s cruise headed to Stillwater. Yeah, we're going to go to Stillwater for the KQ Rock the Boat 80s cruise Friday, July 26th. Stillwater Riverboats, that's going to feature live music from Rough House Rocks, drinks with the KQ crew and free food. Tickets are on sale right now at 92KQRS.com, sponsored by Hoffman Weber Construction. So if you missed the karaoke cruise, or if you were there and already miss it, see what I'm saying? Then go to 92KQRS.com and pick up some Rock the Boat 80s cruise tickets. That is going to be a blast as well. We were enduring the rain out there on the boat, but we were having a good time. Unlike an awful lot of our neighbors, the flooding in Minnesota, specifically southwestern Minnesota, man, this is really getting bad. I've been through one flooded house in my life, and there's a moment when everybody comes together and you're all in the same boat. And it's a wonderful sense of community that when Mother Nature decides to be a bitch, it can really rally folks around. But after that, it's just exhausting and kind of devastating. So the silver linings in the midst of it, sometimes you go like, hey, man, we're all here on the same page. This is not a page anybody should be on and certainly deserves to be on. My heart goes out because having been through this as a kid, I mean, this is like late 70s, one house flood. And, man, I still remember every bit of the next few months. And then in 2010, another one, not in my house, but my basement. It didn't get up to the ground floor, but it came damn close. 2 times experiencing really, really difficult situation. The town of Madelia, specifically in a bad way. This is this is about 25 miles southwest of Mankato. This is a little town of 2,400 people. Local police are advising residents, please stay out of the floodwaters. There is sewage mixed in with the floodwaters throughout town.
Grody.
Yeah.
In order to prevent sewage backups area-wide, the city is emergency pumping sewage down the streets to the river. And they're telling people, don't take your kids in standing water. Don't drive out there in golf carts or all-terrain vehicles because it's probably not just water. And it's necessary to do that, which just goes to show just what an awful situation this is. Thankfully, yesterday, I mean, the rain stopped, but my gosh, it's just been brutal the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even just watching all the people sandbagging, in southern Minnesota, down there in Sheldon, Iowa, or Spencer, Iowa. My sister lived there for a time, but that town completely cut off from the rest of the state by 2 flooding rivers, over 383 I'm reading now. Water rescues down there over the weekend. Of course, Waterville down there in the Mankato, they're sandbagging like crazy down there, and of course, we got the Rum and the Cannon and all those other rivers going over their banks this week, probably.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Our hearts go out to you if you're dealing with that, because there is nothing more helpless than experiencing that sort of a situation. Tonight, Zepp, you already mentioned it. Somehow, we're still having playoff hockey. Stanley Cup Game 7 tonight. The Oilers, down 3-0, have now won 3 straight, which just goes to show that nothing makes sense in the world. This would be pretty substantial if Edmonton wins this game. There's not been a Stanley Cup final where a team came back from down 3-0 to win the title since 1942. So there's only been 4 times a team was down 3-0, came back and won the series. The last one was 2014, but that was a first round Kings over Sharks. A Stanley Cup final, again, 1942 last time that happened. That, my math tells me, is 82 years ago. Not that I have a dog in the fight, but Edmonton, come on, let's get this done. I can't stand the idea of Miami having a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm a homer first. I don't want Canada to take home the cup. I'm always pulling for a USA team unless that USA team is at the tip of Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Miami. And and imagine what this would do. If you've been watching any of the footage of the Edmonton bars and watching at the stadium when they're away, they're down in Miami. Now, this town is obviously going absolutely crazy. If they end up winning the cup after down 3-0, this will be like our 4th of July. Every year it will be celebrated to the max in Edmonton. So, yeah, why not? Give it to them. Final call last night, or Friday night.
They were 0-3, and they will Monday night play a 1-game showdown for all the marbles and the Stanley Cup.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
After the entire season and all the playoff rounds, it all comes down to one game. Winner, loser leaves town. Winner take all. That's going to be exciting. And you know what it sounds to me like? A perfect time to pay attention to playoff hockey. I got one night to do it, and by God, I'm going to do it.
It's the one to watch. It's
going to make that alarm go off extra early tomorrow if I'm up watching hockey, but those are the sacrifices I'm willing to make. Speaking of alarms, what is your alarm? Do you guys have anything special, like when your alarm goes off on your phone? Do you use your phone, I'm assuming, Zepp?
I do. It's actually rigged to a string that goes to a shotgun trigger.
There you go.
And then the shotgun goes off right by my head in the morning.
Tony, is there a calliope involved with your morning routine? I'm just picturing circus music when you wake up.
There's a wind-up monkey with cymbals.
Attaboy.
Slam. I use my phone.
It.
I usually wake up without the alarm, though.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. I don't hear the alarm nearly as much as I wish I did. But there's one alarm that we can all agree on. And by I say we all, I mean as Americans. It's the worst alarm ever. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Monday, June the 24th. Alarm clocks. I use my phone. That's my alarm. I set it. I rarely hear it because my alarm is called Chauncey. And around 3:30, 3:45 most mornings, he starts hacking up like my old Uncle Henry. Chauncey sounds like an elderly gentleman with emphysema. That's just what he does. And so I usually wake up to the sound of him going, ha, ha, ha. And then as he's walking away from the bed, thankfully he gets off the bed before he starts this. And then he's like, then he looks back like, are we doing this? And then I'm like, I guess I'm up. And that's how it goes. However, on the rare occasion that he doesn't do that, my alarm goes off, and it's just some very nice cascading boogly doogly doogly hoogly hoogly hoogly. It's one of those, and it's very calming. It doesn't actually jolt me out of bed like I used to use as a kid. I used to have just a buzzer sound, and it was required because nothing could wake me up when I was younger. But now, as an old man, these things, it just gets a little easier in the morning. We all have alarms that we all have a phone. Most of us have a smartphone with a million options. There's one alarm that is hands down, apparently, the most hated alarm sound in the iPhone catalog. And I'm surprised to hear this because I've always been partial. Are you familiar with By the Seaside? Yeah.
Oh, God, that's my mom's ring.
Yeah.
Immediately just angry.
That's it. Everybody, this is the most despised alarm. That is the actual ringtone in my phone for when my daughter calls my phone. I set that years ago. I mean, when she first got her phone 10 years ago or 12 years ago, that's what I set as her ringtone. And recently, for the first time, she was actually she was made aware. She called me. I said, I can't find my phone, call it. And she did. And when she heard that was her ringtone on my phone, she was furious.
Yeah, why would she be? That's the ringtone I give to my exes in case they call. And then I let them know that's the ringtone. Because who would want to be associated with this ringtone?
I don't know. This one.
By the way, this By the Seaside iPhone ringtone is available on YouTube, the 8-hour version.
Nice.
Oh, only
While
8 hours?
sleep.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what if that was your sleep? What if that got you to sleep, and then when it ends, that was what your alarm? That's what wakes you up. That would work.
Yeah.
It does. It's funny. Someone did say that song mocks me. It's like a horror movie where the nursery rhyme happens right before doom.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that one. I also saw somebody said they tried to use the people sometimes will put on like a favorite song to wake up to, but that'll just ruin the song for you. I mean, that's like. There's nothing that's going to make you hate a song more than it being the first thing you hear every morning. So, yeah, that wouldn't be any good for me. I love the idea that there was. Oh wait! I was going to say one more thing. There's a ringtone in there. I don't know what it's called because I can't find it. But I have assigned it to a handful of people in my life that I never want to talk to, and it's like an alien sound. It's like it's one of those weird ones. And anytime I hear that from my phone, I don't even look because it's like, well, whoever it is, I'm not answering regardless.
They have a block feature.
Well, that's what I hear, but I don't want them to know they're blocked. See, it's like that's. I'm not ready to make that kind of a commitment.
All right.
I'm just damn sure not going to answer the phone when they call. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Because you know what, you don't want to. I wouldn't want to leave. There's no way I could have that conversation without there being some sparks flying. There's a little anger. There's some residual. There's resentments. There's all sorts of reasons why we don't want to talk to certain people on the phone. There is a Japanese company that has developed a new artificial intelligence filter. And if you're the kind of person that gets a little hot under the collar on phones, especially when you're dealing with customer service, maybe, this is interesting, then you should probably pay attention. This artificial intelligence filter can detect angry screams or really rude, angry speech, and it will translate it into calm speech in order to reduce the stress experienced by call center operators. Call center operators. That word alone, like that's a good punk band name. Hi, we're the call center operators. It's like nothing more punk than that. These tech companies are they understand we've got call centers. Our operators are just getting crushed every day for 8 hours straight, taking phone calls from angry customers. And so, I mean, because it's you can't help yourself a lot of times when you get a problem with a company and you call in, the person on that phone has got literally nothing to do with what your problem is. However,
No.
That's who you're talking to. That's who's going to get the brunt of it.
Well, can they come up with an AI filter where they can sound somewhat engaged or like they give a rat's ass for just a second?
That would be nice.
And
that would be nice.
Condescending, like, please don't. But, you're right. There's no reason to yell. I think I've raised my voice before and gotten very frustrated, but I don't know that I've ever had a customer call where I acted like this.
Get me through to a supervisor now! Record the out of this call and get me to a supervisor now! Do it!
Ma'am, there isn't any reason for me to... Ma'am.
Get me through to a supervisor, you little There's your personal foul language!
Okay, ma'am. All right. Okay. Okay, give me.
That could use some seaside.
I'm gonna put you on hold, ma'am.
Music right there. Yeah.
Well, here with the AI filter, here's what it sounds like. Now, please let me talk to your supervisor now. How about right now? If not, then how about now? If not now, when? Yeah. You're beautiful. Help me, please. They call it the emotion suppression system.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's
good.
That's yeah, there it is.
That's fantastic.
It's like a cougar.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what? It really does. I might whenever I have to phone in for something, I might play Down by the Seaside, or whatever that's called, By the Seaside, in the background just to set the mood. I mean, if you're, if someone's 7 hours into a shift and they're like, "Hi, AT&T, can I help you?" I'll be like, "Hey, yeah, my name's Gorman," and they hear that music playing, they're immediately going to go like, "This sounds like a good guy." I don't know. Maybe it's a chance.
I like
Might work for me. So the song's going to be.
I can't figure out where the off button was.
I'm enjoying the fact that there are a handful of people listening to this show right now who are in such bad moods that we've been blasting By the Seaside for the last 5 minutes. Like, oh my God! I turn on the radio to hear that.
You're going to get an angry customer call on the request line.
That happens. Mike Evans, Hollywood Report. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show, Monday, June the 24th. A perfectly wonderful time for the Mike Evans Hollywood Report.
Hey, good morning, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Good morning, Steve and Zeb and Tony. Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Today is Monday. Well, that means tomorrow is Tuesday. Every Tuesday at Marcus Theater, any movie you want to see, only $6. I'm getting emails from listeners who are saying they're taking half days off on Tuesdays just to take advantage of Marcus Theater's $6 Tuesday. Probably a good idea. There could be trouble in paradise. It could be the first time that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce aren't going to agree on something. And that would be Tom Cruise. While Travis was yucking it up with Cruise at Taylor Swift's Wembley Stadium, England concert, I tend to remember that Taylor Swift once blasting Tom Cruise as a shameful deadbeat father, the way he has treated Surrey, refusing to even see his daughter. And this is odd. Taylor Swift says she doesn't feel like she has a lot of rhythm and really can't dance really good, and says that Travis certainly doesn't have much rhythm, can't dance, so she's thinking about maybe getting them dancing lessons when she returns to the States. My wife has been trying to get me to take dancing lessons for 20 years. Not gonna do it, not gonna do it. Legal Beagle. Later this afternoon, a judge for the very last time will finally decide for good if Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter case be dropped. And there's only two chances of that happening, slim and none. And as Steve can tell you, Slim just left town. Trial starts July 9th. As of now, I'm planning on covering that trial in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Hey, I'll tell you, if you want to take a great trip, Las Vegas, between September 20th and the end of October, Vegas is be the place to go. The Eagles will be in concert for almost a month at the Sphere in Las Vegas. I've seen the Eagles. It was a long time ago, but I'm going to go see them. I mean, they are fabulous. Sports, shorts, and a love nugget. You know, having covered all sports from the Little League World Series to the Olympics and everything in between, I got to tell you, I can't wait for tonight's NHL Stanley Cup Game 7 between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. And all I have to say is, let's go Oilers. Let's go Oilers. Yeah, I don't like the Florida Panthers at all. I just hope that wasn't the kiss of death. And I know you guys cannot wait for NFL football. It is right around the corner. But regarding the just released Netflix documentary, America's Sweethearts, the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. As we would say in Hawaii, no need. Enough of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. No need of that. Stormy Daniels has a new career doing stand-up. Her debut was at a small comedy club in New Orleans over the weekend. One reviewer said she was about as funny as a toothache. And last week I told you about a couple of our great older entertainers who are not in very good health. And over the weekend I heard about two more of our very favorite older entertainers also not in good health at all. Clint Eastwood, who is 94. Willie Nelson, who is 91. We wish them the best. Hey, have a great day. We'll do it again tomorrow. I'm Mike Evans. See ya.
There's the Mike Evans Hollywood Report right now. How about this? Why don't we take a look back on this day, June 24th, 1922. The American Professional Football Association changed their name to the National Football League. It all began on this day. The NFL was off to the races. 38 years later, the NFL announced that Minnesota would get their own team, thereby ensuring that the North Star State would endure pain and suffering, the likes of which had never been seen previously.
Yeah.
And yet here we are, just waiting for September. Oh, JJ to JJ, I'm excited. Let's do it. On this day in 2010, John Isner beat Nicholas Mahut in the first round of a Wimbledon match. The final score by sets, 6-4, 3-6, 6-7, 7-6, 70-68. They played 183 games for one match of tennis. It took parts of 3 days to finish. 11 hours, 5 minutes on the court. The longest tennis match in history, or as I would call that, were I there when hell was in session.
Yeah, remember when tennis was big, when we had to watch it because there weren't any other sports on TV?
Yeah, it was great. Wooden rackets, headbands. It was really good. I don't know what the hell they're doing now. Just everyone smashes. The ball's going 140 miles an hour. It's just volley and serve. Listen to me. Get off my porch.
Yeah, the important thing is we just don't have to watch it now. You know,
That's very
not
good.
The only thing on Saturday.
It's a very good point.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show, Monday, June 24th. Under Pressure, Queen with David Bowie. Yeah, I love that song. Never, ever gotten tired of it.
No.
Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
I did David Bowie's final U.S. tour was in the spring of 2004, as it turned out. And I was opening, I was playing with a Welsh band called Stereophonics. We were the opening act on what turned out to be his last ever dates in the States, which is amazing that it's over 20 years now. And he would play that song towards the end of the set every night. His bassist, Gail Ann Dorsey, would sing the Freddie part. And it was outstanding. I was at the soundboard every single night for a month going, yeah, Dave. Come on, Dave. Yeah, Dave. That was me. I was the yeah, Dave guy.
Rooting him on, yeah.
I was. He needed me. He needed the help. I was introduced to him by the singer of the band, and he looked at me and goes, "What's that accent?" And I said, "Oh, it's Western Wales." And he goes, "Really? What town?" I said, it's way west. It's called Kentucky." And he looked at me and goes, "Well, then I'll call you the Colonel." And I was like, this is the coolest moment of my life.
Oh, nice.
David Bowie is calling me the Colonel. Yeah, it was great. It was outstanding. And he was the nicest guy in the world, too. I mean, go figure. What a hell of a guy. All right, that put me in a good mood. Now I'm thinking back to the fact that there was a time in my life when I used to see David Bowie on a regular basis. And I'd look at him and nod, and he'd nod back. And then I was like, yeah, we're like best friends now. This is great. Hey, tomorrow is June 25th. And you know what that is? Half Christmas, baby.
Hello.
Right.
We're not going to let half Christmas get by. It's not going to go unnoticed and unacknowledged. We're having a half Christmas special tomorrow, baby.
I don't know about you guys, but I get Christmas off. So I'm going to duck a half Christmas, half a day off till 8 o'clock, and then I'm ducking out.
All right, that'll work. That's fine. We'll just replay the first 2 hours tomorrow. That'll be great. I like making plans. So half Christmas tomorrow, that's going to be fun. About 30 minutes from right now, not even 30 minutes, 7:50. We have a game every day at 7:50. Today, we're going to be giving away Rock the Boat 80s tickets. Even though it's not Friday, we're going all in. We're going Beat the Toaster at 7:50.
We are.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't mentally prepared for
I know.
that today. What the hell?
I just wanted to upset the apple cart. That's exciting. Speaking of upsetting the apple cart, here's something I'm unaware of that I was unaware of until now. Minnesota legislators are pushing for a new bill that will make officially, this is the part I didn't know, the bald eagle our national bird. I didn't know it was not already officially the national bird. Now, I mean, back in 1782, it's been the national symbol.
Right.
But it's never been fully designated as the official bird of the United States. Once endangered, now just walk outside in the Twin Cities and surrounding area and you'll see one. Those bad boys are everywhere. I love it.
Yeah, Alaska, they call them dumpster rats. They just come in. You'll go outside to any dumpster in any alleyway and there'll be 100 eagles just going through the garbage.
As well there should be. Nothing says, I love America quite like watching an eagle pick through some chicken bones in a dumpster. I was actually yesterday all day long. I'm sorry, no, Saturday. All day long Saturday, cloudy, kind of overcast, watching an eagle just cruise our neighborhood. And I was out with Chauncey at some point, and I was like, man, I mean, I've seen videos. That if that eagle is desperate enough, he might make a run at Chauncey. He might think he could get away with it. But no, we didn't. I was waiting. He didn't. He just kept going. He was looking for smaller game.
I don't know if it was a bald eagle or not. It was an eagle that picked up like a little terrier and carried it halfway across the park. It's on YouTube. I wasn't here locally. Carried it halfway across the park and then dropped it from about 20 feet. Terrier just fine. You know,
just
probably
took it for a ride.
some talon marks in there. But yeah, so I doubt he'd get away with Chauncey. But so why is the Minnesota legislatures, why do they want a national bird?
I guess because we have so many of them, they're just like, it'd be cool for it to be officially the national bird, and then they can throw in, oh, by the way, and if you want to see one, come to Minnesota. I'm imagining that's got something to do with it.
About lower taxes.
The first time I saw a bald eagle ever, I was in the state of Virginia in the 80s, and I was sound asleep in the passenger seat of my brother's little tiny pickup truck, and we were on some 2-lane road, and he just like slammed on the brakes. And I'm like, when you're asleep in a car and the guy slams on the brakes, you assume, of course, that the world is about to end and we're going off a cliff or a bridge.
Yeah.
And I sat up, I was like, what? And he goes, look. And there's a big branch hanging over the road with a bald eagle sitting in it. And I was like, and... well, it's a bird. Who cares? I was like 23 and way too cool to get excited about seeing a bald eagle. I was like, I was asleep. We probably argued about that for 90 minutes. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. You're so cynical. And I'm like, what's wrong? What are you, Ward Cleaver, driving along? Get over it. It's a bird. Anyway, but now I'm obviously Ward Cleaver myself because every time I see him, and there's a nest right down the street from our house.
Oh, yeah.
I see this guy all the time, and I'm like, there he is. Look at him. And I pump my fist, and I get excited.
America.
Yeah, damn straight, man.
Yeah, Yeah, that's when I was growing up. It was a big deal to see a bald eagle. Everybody would point, oh my God, it's a bald eagle. You'd pump the brakes and everybody would rush outside with cameras and film and all sorts of things. And but fairly common now. People will come out to Montana to visit when I lived out there, and we'd pull out of the driveway. They'd go, look, a bald eagle. And I would say, stop that now. Because we're driving to Yellowstone and you're going to see 1,000 of them, and it gets old really fast. But it's a majestic bird. Hell, it looks good. I tattooed one on my arm. Not myself, but
it's
supposed to be Mom, but turned out to be a bald eagle.
Sorry, that's really funny. It cracks me up. When somebody says to me these days, hey, man, how you doing? I just point up in the sky and I go, pretty good now that I saw that bald eagle. That's my stock answer.
Yeah.
Because normally I just say things like, yeah, I'm good or not too bad. What do you, when someone sees you on the street or at the office or wherever and say, hey, man, how you doing? Is there a go-to, or do you honestly give an answer about how you're actually doing?
About average. Yeah, you don't get, you just, about average seems to be mine. How you doing? About average. Yeah, I guess. Fair to middling. You hear that one a lot around the Midwest. My dad used fair to middling.
Fair to partly cloudy if they want to be humorous.
Yes, that's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I not too bad. Can't complain. I hear that a lot, and my answer is almost always, "Yeah, go for it. I got a minute." And no one ever takes me up on it. I always go ahead. I mean, please complain. I'll take it for you. Go. Another day in paradise. Never said that. Don't like it when I hear it back.
All right. Yeah, another day in paradise.
You know, come on.
Yeah. Living the dream. It's right up there with another day in paradise.
Yeah.
I think that there's some good. Our KQRS Facebook post, what's the most Minnesotan response to how are you? A lot of good ones. Not too shabby. I've heard that my whole life. That was my dad's. He's a Michigan guy, but he was always not too shabby.
Yeah.
And then I, on occasion, as a kid, would say kind of shabby, and thinking that was really funny because you never hear shabby without the not too shabby.
Right.
I like the idea of just, you know, what was it? No, not the answer to how you doing. What was it? I was thinking. Oh, Keith Richards always says, "Hey, it's nice to be here." Actually, it's nice to be anywhere. That's always I like that one. Yeah. But still breathing. That was always a family one. How you doing? Still breathing. Really? That's it? That's all you got for us? Okay. Woke up this morning. That's still good. I'm looking at on the Facebook page. Breck writes, "I'm still vertical." Never heard that one.
Yeah.
Finer than Peach's hair and Froggy Keen, says Jory.
Really?
Okay.
I'd walk faster away from them, I think.
Yeah, really. A lot of Peachy. Peachy good. Georgia Peachy. Never heard that one. I used to live in Georgia. Never heard that one. Yeah, it's funny when you travel around the world, too, because you say how you doing to somebody, and they look at you like, well, okay, I wasn't expecting to have to tell you this, but the corn on my pinky toes acting up again. A lot of places in the world, that's an invitation to you get an honest answer and reply.
Oh, late nightmare.
Yeah, they just say hi. They don't say how you doing. We say how you doing as in hi. For whatever reason. That's what we do.
Well, we got somebody on the KQ Talk and text line, 651-989-ROCK, Tony.
Go ask Rand from Mound how he's doing.
Rand, how you doing, brother?
I think Rand may have disappeared.
Oh, Rand.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so Rand. I guess he wasn't doing so well.
Busy, I guess, is how he's doing.
Man, that happens, I guess. It's just one of those things that develops over time. It's not unlike when you travel, if you ever leave the country and you go places, Western Europe specifically, where most people speak English, you notice two things. Nobody says how you doing. They simply say hello or good afternoon. And then people don't laugh for no reason. And we laugh all the time as Americans.
Yeah.
You know, you when you reach into your pocket and you pull out your keys but drop them, you go, oh, jeez. And they're like, what? I'm sorry, is that funny? I don't get it.
Kind of,
the fake laugh. The fake laugh is, we're big on the fake laugh and then asking people personal information like, how are you today? Do you mean esoterically, or is this an emotional question? Do you want to hear about the heartbreak I'm currently processing? No, dude, I'm just saying hi. Get over it.
Wow, it's an uptight world out there, isn't it?
It really is. I've never been involved in online dating. I'm grandfathered out. You know, I mean, I've just been in a relationship for far too long. But apparently, online daters are just liars. Just lying about everything.
Not a lot different than regular dating.
1 in 5 have lied about their age. 1 in 7 have lied about their hobbies. Let me ask you this. Why would you lie about your hobbies?
Because you're trying to get anyone, dear God, a real person would be preferable to notice you online. You can't for women, I've explained this before, but women, they simply they could literally put a picture of their stool up there that they had this morning, their bowel movement, and guys would flock to it, be like, oh, hey, really nice to meet you. You know, it's can I come over and flush your toilet? But men, you know, it's a drawn out process. You know, it takes some time, and you got to get out there and really do the hard work. to get some responses. So you lie. So you read women. They like to go for long walks in the park. They like to go to the farmer's market on Sunday morning. They like to talk about their feelings. So I'm going to have to put that crap in my online profile just to get a nibble, a bite.
So you're not lying about the hobbies you actually do. What you're lying is about things you don't ever do. Like what you. So this is like, I stop by the orphanage and read to the kids. Yeah. You just put stuff like that in there.
Well, yes, exactly, stuff like that. Things that you think will impress the average woman out there.
So because my first thought on that is, well, it's going to blow up in your face when someone asks you a question that you can't answer. Like my hobbies are skydiving and volunteer firefighting and or whatever. You make yourself look like some tough guy. And then you're just binge watching, Suits on Netflix.
Yeah, like I said, it's very similar to not online dating, to dating in real life. You just tell a bunch of lies from the get-go and then spend the next 3 months trying to get out of those lies or explain to her why you can't go skydiving or why you don't have that cool motorcycle anymore or whatever it is that you made up. Or even worse, you find yourself on Sunday morning going to the frickin' farmer's market.
Oh, man. Here's a tough one. 1 in 8 says they've lied about their height.
I've gone on dates where they've lied about, they put up a picture that was 15 years old and, lied about some things, and you show up and you think the same thing. You're like, what was your next play? Here we are. Now what?
Right.
So I asked one lady one time, I said, clearly there's been some deception here on your part. I'm like, what do you think my next move here is? And she said back to me, well, you could think to yourself, I'm here, so why not? I'm like, okay.
Wow.
I'm here, so why not?
All right.
Yeah. I bailed.
Yeah, I think that was the good move.
Right.
I think,
you're playing for quality over quantity. Go ahead, be brutally honest. Use a crappy picture of yourself. Sit up in the morning, grab your phone, take a selfie, put that as your face, or as your Facebook, listen to me, as your match profile photograph, and look for that one and not just some attention online. I think that's what we're all doing. Just trying to look for some attention.
If it does go well, if the online dating thing does turn out to be a success, you might find yourself in a relationship, and that'd be a nice result. You find yourself deleting the dating apps because you found the right person. And then you might find yourself in a relationship for 6 years, like a couple in New Zealand, and then you might find yourself in court because a dude in New Zealand, 6 years into a relationship, told his girlfriend, yeah, I'll take you to the airport. Let me help you out for this trip you're taking. But then he didn't show up. Oh. She missed her flight. Ooh. So she sued her boyfriend.
That seems over the top.
He said he'd pick her up and take her, but he didn't show. She missed her flight and a big concert she had been planning to attend. He also said he'd stay at her house and dog sit, but he didn't do that either. So she sued him for damages, including the cost of a dog sitter and a shuttle to the airport.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope, because there was a guy last year that sued a date. He went out on a first date, and it turns out that she wasn't at all interested. Mm-hmm. She talked on her phone with her friends the entire time. Felt like she was never really invested in the date, and then split like towards the end of dinner, and then he Venmo'd her for half the dinner and cost of the date, saying, you know what, you weren't really in this, so I'm not paying for it, and it went to small claims court. He lost. How'd this gal do?
The case was heard by a judge. He considered whether the agreement was in fact legally binding, and he said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to award you any money. He said, partners, friends, and colleagues often make social arrangements. They're not legally enforceable unless there is and this was a quote, an act that demonstrates an intention that the person will be bound by their promises. I mean, if I just look at it like this, you're waiting for him to get you to the airport. He's late. You call and or text and don't get a response. That's what Uber's for. Get on the stick. Go to plan B. What are you doing?
Quickly, yeah. And what led you to believe that this guy was that sort of trustworthy type that just would never let you down anyway, that you would put your entire trip and this important concert in his hands solely and only his? Yeah, it's just shared responsibility. He's a jackass, of course.
Well, but 6 years in, she should have had some indication. Yeah. Or if this is his first time ever not showing up for something, then either way, I guess we're just basically coming down on the side of this guy, regardless.
I don't feel great about, but
what his excuse was.
Never got that information, but he did have his day in court, and he was found to be just cut it loose. They have since broken up, of course.
Yeah, well,
imagine that conversation. I'm sorry, you're doing what? No, I'm taking you to court. I'm suing you. Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again. I got to get this right. You're suing me because I didn't bring you to the airport. That's tough.
Hell,
that's tough.
No fury.
I guess not. I'm trying to think of anybody I've ever said. When have I let someone down? I've never been sued for not showing up to something, but I probably said I could do something and didn't and pissed somebody off. But yeah, happily never been the recipient of a lawsuit for that.
That's harsh.
And that is pretty harsh. Imagine. I wonder if she's back on the dating apps, if she'll mention that in her bio.
I sued an ex-boyfriend.
I'm 5'7". I'm an accountant. I love music. I travel for concerts, and I sued my last boyfriend because he didn't take me to the airport. Let's get together. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's not gonna be too great on the profile.
That makes me nervous. Yeah, right. Best to probably fib a little bit.
Probably. Go ahead. Don't mention a lawsuit and add a couple inches. Why not? Just let her rip, sister. Hell. Hey, the KQ Rockin' the Boat 80s cruise happening at the end of July. Stillwater Boats. We're very excited about it. In fact, we're so excited about it, we would love to have you join us July 26th. We've got some tickets to give away. Zepp, what are we doing today? It's your favorite.
How in God's name did this happen on a Monday morning? Blindsided by Beat the Toaster. Oh, I hope you had your Wheaties this morning. Right now on the KQ92 Talk and Text line, callers 9 and 2, 651-989-ROCK. We're playing for KQ Rock the Boats 80 cruise tickets, like Steve just mentioned. July 26th, Stillwater River Boats, sponsored by Hoffman Weber Construction. Prize provided by Stillwater River Boats. Here we go, 651-989-ROCK. Dial up, good luck, and hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zepp, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Monday, June the 21st. 4th. Carry on, Our Wayward Son, Kansas. Yeah, guys, relax. Man, that arrangement. I mean, I could never play that song. Halfway through, I'd just stop. Can we just rock? Man, I mean, it's like an algebra equation listening to that thing. Great song. I don't mean I'm not bad mouthing them. I'm saying, guys, putting some work in. That was the most played song on U.S. classic rock radio in the year 1997. 20 some years after it's released, it was number one for the year at classic rock. Kansas. Delivering the goods. That's all I'm saying.
It's involved. It's very robust.
Oh, my God. I mean, seriously, how many times have I heard that song? 8 billion. And here I am listening right now on headphones going, yeah, okay, never. I could never get through a take of that song. Never in my life. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't have what it takes.
I don't know if you ever saw them in concert, but they have a stage full.
Never saw them.
Yeah.
I bet they're just getting some work done up there, though.
I think the lead singer was the keyboard player. I don't know if he was the original with the band, because I think I saw him in the 90s sometime, and he would do a handstand on the keyboard.
Why?
What? Okay, really?
A handstand on the keyboard. He was just doing that, and he would do it like a backflip, and I'm like, what is going on up there?
Billy Joel used to do that at the end of his show. He'd do a backflip off the piano. Not
Is
so
that
much
true?
now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I saw him do it.
Yeah, because he was just smashed.
Right.
Wow.
He doesn't even know that he did that.
That is, tumbling. Rock and roll and tumbling don't go together, in my opinion.
No. Unless it's, some of our older rockers tumbling off the stage these days. But,
Well, sure.
Yeah, that's not even cool. But, yeah, I'm just Billy, don't do that anymore. You just see him. No, watch this. This is cool. This is great. Good for him. I didn't see him. He just doesn't seem like the athletic type. Like he'd have that spring in him. But, there you go.
It's pretty great. I think, hey guys, during the encore tonight, if we're gonna I tell you what, I'm gonna do a pike layout handspring. And I'm gonna put the bass down, and then I'm gonna lay this. No, sorry. Just again, leave the tumbling to the tumblers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like watching a gig and you're having a great time. You're like, God, this band sounds amazing, and then the singer starts juggling. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, if a singer gets too busy up there, the one person who could get away with it for some reason, and I don't know why, was David Lee Roth. He could be nuts up there and doing his splits and his leg kicks and everything.
He's a carny barker.
Yeah, carny barker. He could get away with it, but yeah, some singers came out and they just tried too hard, and it's like, just tone it somewhere between the bass player and Steven Tyler. Please.
Yeah, Dave wasn't also playing keyboards. He wasn't also trying to be a part of the song. He was just putting on a show.
Yeah.
Regardless, he was there to perform. If you're gonna knock out a keyboard solo and then go into the handstand, then that's then it's like a Gymkhana display, and Mitch Gaylord is coming in from boy. It's an Olympic summer, and my thoughts go right to '84 and Mitch Gaylord. What can I tell you? My thoughts for late July are of the KQ Rock the Boat 80s cruise, which last summer's was absolutely awesome. July 26th, Stillwater Riverboats. We're going to be rocking the boat 80s style. And right now, by the way, that trip, of course, sponsored by Hoffman Weber Construction. We've got a couple tickets. We'd love to have you join us for that cruise. And in order to do so, we're going to make you work real hard for it, Tony.
Yeah, let's toast it up. It's just pure fun. Of course, you want to start out your Monday with a hearty breakfast. It's time again for Beat the Toaster. Here's what we do. We pop a slice of bread into the toaster right here in the studio. We're going to give you a category. Then you name as many things that pop into your pretty little head as possible in 15 seconds before the toast pops and win.
Hell yeah. Sounds good to me. Let's get to it. Who is contestant number one?
Number one, we're going to start out with our buddy Richard from St. Louis Park.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
Are you a fan of toast?
I like toast.
Attaboy.
Had to think
Okay,
about
what about rocking out on a boat listening to music from the 80s? Is that something you like as well?
Don't like it at all. I gotta love it.
Yeah. You are in the right place, my man. He loves the 80s. He's a fan of toast. Let's do it. I wish you all the best, Richard.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Ricky, here's your first category. You got 15 seconds before the toast pops. Tell me some attractions that you might find at the circus. Go.
The Big Top, Elephant, Lion, High Wire, Trapeze, the Announcer, the Cannonball, Human Cannonball, Candy Nuts,
All right.
Cotton Candy.
Yeah, I like the human. Yeah, okay, bud. Well played. He's still on a roll. The Human Cannonball, very well. That was my first thought. I'm glad you pulled that one out. I got Big Top, Elephant, Lion.
It's on the bucket list.
There you go.
I got
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 it is.
Mm-hmm.
Richard, that is a strong open with a 7. Well played, sir. That's it's tough to get going this early in the morning, but you have stepped in and you came out swinging. Well played. Richard, we're going to put you on hold for a second. It's time to move on to contestant number 2 for their first round. Who we got, Tony?
The toast battle heads to Roxy, in Savage.
Roxy, good morning.
Roxy, hi.
How you doing, Roxy?
Pretty good. We'll find out.
Are you a fan of toast and or 80s music?
I love both. Let's go. I love both.
Girl.
Yeah.
Roxy is ready. Let's do it, Roxy. Good luck.
Foxy Roxy.
Okay, thank you.
Here's your category. You're at a house party. You're at a house party. You're going to use the bathroom, and you're snooping around. What are some things you might find in their medicine cabinet? Go.
Okay, you will find Oxycontin, you will find aspirin, you'll find condoms, you'll find Tampax, you will find lipstick, you will find cotton balls, antiseptic, toothbrush, toothpaste, needles, pins, Band-Aids.
Wow. Ding, toast has popped.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 11.
I got 11. Roxy was on fire.
Don't let Roxy loose in the bathroom. She's going to go through your stuff. Well played.
If you have it there, I will find it.
What?
Have a what?
If you have it there, she will find it.
I'll find it. I'm going to find every bit of it.
Man, I mean, that was OxyContin, aspirin, condoms, tampons, lipstick, cotton ball. It was just awesome.
Time, yeah.
Man, I tell you what.
Scavenger hunt.
I want to party with you, cowboy. All right, Roxy. I think 11 is about as big a first round as we've ever had. Very well played. All right. Gear, take a second, take a deep breath. Round 2, usually a little bit tougher. We're going to go back to Richard now. Richard, Roxy's not playing games today, boys. She's playing for keeps. So you need to step up big for round 2. Are you ready, brother?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I think you're up to the task. Here you go, Rich. Present some original theories of your own of what may have caused the demise of the dinosaurs. Go.
Flatulence, drought, fire, too many birds, basketball players, football players,
what?
No grass. There we go.
Okay.
Controversial theories.
Very controversial. How many did we get there? I'm what is that? Was that another 7? Was it 6? What did you get, Tony?
Oh, God, I thought I had 6, but are we deducting the basketball and football players from the demise of the dinosaurs?
Yeah, and why would we?
But it's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you said concoct a theory.
Original theories, yeah.
Yeah, if you look at some of those cave drawings.
Yeah.
All right, I think I got 7.
All right, that's some esoteric thinking.
That is some esoteric thinking, and that's a grand total of 14, Richard, which is not a bad effort at all. I'm at some point I'm gonna. I know that I will wake up in the middle of the night and go, "How did those basketball players kill the dinosaurs?" But that's my cross to bear. Richard, well played. Sit tight. Let's see what happens in round 2 for Roxy. Roxy with the big 11 in round 1 needs 3 to tie. 4 is going to put you on that boat. Best of luck.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, Rox, get some stretching in. Here's what happened. You meet a giant who was self-conscious about his height. What statements might you say to him to make him feel less awkward about his anxiety over being so tall? Go.
Come here, baby. Let me give you a kiss. Let me stand on this rock, and then I'll look you right in the eye. Why don't you have a seat? Sit down. You are so handsome. The ears are wonderful. Your lips are fantastic. I love a big guy who can take care of me. You've got nothing to worry about. We've got this. You're tall. I'm short. I can be tall. You can be short.
Wow.
Great time.
Yeah, Roxy.
You make me want to be your giant.
I tell you what, man.
She was selling it.
Yeah, very, very much so. That is a giant who's feeling much better about his place in the world right now after a minute or two with Roxy. Absolutely, he should.
Sure, we could get him on the boat, though. Keep that in mind, please.
That's very true.
Yes.
Left a duck.
Roxy, you, my dear, have just picked up a couple tickets to the boat. Man,
awesome.
Roxy came in just on fire in round 1 and continued through round 2. Richard, most days 14's enough to win, but I'm sorry, you just had Roxy, just on throwing an absolute heater, as they say. So thank you for calling in, Richard. We appreciate the effort. Roxy, we're going to see you at the end of July on the boat. Congratulations.
And you'll know me.
What's that?
And you will know me.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't doubt that for a second.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
And hey, feel free to dress in your best 80s gear as well. Just deck it out like a... Yeah. Well, I
got my platforms out. It's good. I got this.
Oh, yeah, you got it, Roxy. Very well played. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Man. That's as strong as it gets. If you're in need of a pep talk, Roxy's your girl.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna know her immediately.
I was trying to think. I've known a couple people who were very self-conscious because they were so tall. In my life, it's a tough way to go through life, man. If you don't have the personality to match. I know of a friend of mine had a kid. Who ended up being 7 feet tall, didn't play basketball. That's a tough one
Yeah.
A 7-footer without hoops, you're just spending your whole life going, no, actually, I don't play.
Yeah.
No, I don't play.
Yeah. All you had to do is move around a little bit. You can play basketball. You're right. That would be frustrating.
Just reach.
Right.
Just get out there, just move a little bit. And in fact, that's totally true story. The kid ended up, last I heard, he was a security guard on a college campus, like campus police, 7-footer. Again, not a jump shot to be found. There is a young lad in Canada. His name is Olivier Ryu. He is 7 feet 9 inches tall.
Right, yeah, he's 8 feet tall.
He is 16. He made the Guinness Book of World Records as the tallest teenager. When he was 16, he was 7'5". In the last 2 years, he's added 4 inches. He is legit standing straight up 7'9". And he is playing for the Florida Gators next season, college basketball. And there are highlights. You can find him online. As you might expect, not the most graceful up and down the court, but he does move. The last thing he has to think about doing is jumping when he wants to dunk a basketball.
Right.
He is flat-footed with his knees bent. He can dunk a basketball. It's crazy. He was asked about what you think of this. He said, "We're not really sure why I'm so tall." The doctor said, my family, I mean, it's genetics. His dad is 6'8". His mom is 6'2". His older brother is 6'9". But he's 7'9". That is an astounding, it's really unlike anything. If he can just move kind of well, if he can continue to just get up and down the court, he'll make a lot of money playing basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Because at that size, it's kind of like the old hockey goalie where you're like, just find a 600-pound guy and put him in the goal.
Yeah, right.
just pad him up and let him sit there. Put this kid under the rim. Nobody is getting a shot from less than 10 feet without him blocking it. I mean, it's astounding to see.
The ball looks like a softball in his hands, too.
Yeah, it really does. It's like when we all play Nerf hoop and stuff. You know, that's what, like you put a Nerf goal over the back of the door. That's what he's doing on a 10-foot rim. Man. It is really astounding. My nephew Matt Gorman played basketball for Syracuse, won a national championship as a freshman. Came in with Carmelo Anthony, and Matt is about 6'9" and a half, I think, in bare feet, just under 6'10". But he was on a 7-foot pace his whole life. By the time he got to high school, he just stopped growing. But like when he was 8, 10, 12, every doctor he saw was like, yeah, he's going to be 7 feet tall. And when he stopped just short of 6'10", of course, we were disappointed and we let him know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt. I don't love you as much anymore. You're not 7 feet tall. Yeah, he's I
just gotta believe 6'9", 7'9". Life
7'9".
I don't care how much money you're gonna make playing basketball. Life is just going to be a bit of a grind for you.
Yeah,
I mean just day-to-day life. Yeah, you'll be able to afford things that cars that actually fit you and those sorts of things, clothes that fit. But man, day-to-day, I don't think I'd take it. Hey, you can be an NBA star, one of the greats of all time, but you got to be 7'9". I think I'd pass.
I you know what? I think so. It's just there's so few opportunities in life where you're going to be comfortable, where you're going to feel good about what you're doing. Yeah, like and you made the point. Like my nephew's 6'9". Imagine a foot on top of that.
Yeah,
it's hard to imagine because we're all pretty tall. But then there's this, every family photo, there's one guy that's a head taller than everybody else. I can't imagine putting a foot on top of that. There's not a doorway you can walk into. There's not a chair. There's not a table at a restaurant that's ready for you ever.
Clothes shopping, just a bit of a challenge.
First class would just be cramped.
Can't go to Marshall's.
Yeah. What about those cave tours? No way. The Wabasha cave tours. Yeah, that's just, I'm
7'9". I play basketball in my own time. I like spelunking. Underwater cave diving. It's fun.
It's out. He's not doing it.
And that is rough right there. Okay, we've got a question that we're going to all have to confront. And I think I know the answer. If the word priceless ever enters your home, what are you going to do with it? Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It's Monday, June 24th. Fly Like an Eagle, Steve Miller Band. Family trip one summer. We had 2 tapes in the car for a 12-hour drive, Abbey Road and Fly Like an Eagle. And man, did we listen to that thing top to bottom, back and forth. My mom was singing barbershop harmonies to every song on Fly Like an Eagle for 800 miles. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping. Those barbershop harmonies will just... Boy, it'll just grind your gears sometimes. I mean, she was hitting all the notes. It's not that she wasn't doing her part. It's just barbershop itself can leave you wanting a little if you're a rock and roller like I was at that time.
It's an acquired taste.
It certainly was that. It's Monday. It is June 24th, and oh gosh, how about this? Okay. You know, you always hear those stories like, what if you were behind an armored car and the door opened and a bunch of money blew out? Would you pick it up? Would you return it? What if you find a wallet? Do you return the cash with the wallet and the credit cards? There's always these little... there's always these moments when you have to ask yourself, well, what would I actually do here? What's the right thing to do? What should I do? This is a pretty wild one. A woman in Washington, D.C. is at a thrift store last year. And she's always looking for a bargain. I'm sorry, she was there about 5 years ago. And she saw a vase. It was on a clearance rack. And it looked like kind of an old handmade vase of some sort. She paid $4.99 and brought it home. And like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then this January, after she'd had it in her house for 5 years, she was in Mexico on a work trip. She went to the Museum of Anthropology. And there were some artifacts in the museum that looked a whole lot like the vase she had for 5 years, again, from a thrift store in D.C. She thought about it. She's like, this is interesting. She contacted the place not that long after, sent some pictures and dimensions of her vase, and got news. Yeah, ma'am, that vase you have, that's from the indigenous Mayan people. It probably goes back to between 200 and 800 A.D. It's nearly 2,000 years old, and it's priceless.
Oh, well, they know how to put a vase together back then. That thing is held up.
Yeah, pretty good. Priceless.
Yeah.
And so here's my question. Let's just stop the story right there. You're sitting on an artifact that somebody tells you is literally priceless. My first thought is, I'm sure we can find a price.
Yeah, I bet there is a price.
Priceless to you is a price to me. What's it worth to you, Mexico?
Yeah.
She apparently chose to do the right thing.
You fool.
I just asked, what would be the process if I had something that I thought might be old and I wanted to repatriate it? How would I go about that? I think she hears that a lot and was a little skeptical, but she was like, well, you'd go back to your country, to contact the embassy. I would like it to go back to its rightful place and to where it belongs. I'd also like it out of my house because I have 3 little boys, and now I'm petrified that at any moment I could be the one after 2,000 years to finally wreck it.
Oh, no, why is there's nothing wrong with it wanting to go back to its original place, but Mexico's got a couple of bucks in the bank, or at least trade it for a key of Coke or something. I mean, why does she not want to sell it back to them? Because
I don't know.
Because why?
I love the idea. Like, yeah, this is where it belongs. It's a historical artifact. It's important. But yeah, no, exactly. Like, I'm sorry, round trip flights to Mexico City for a little award ceremony and a photo op. That's the beginning of a process. I want one of those big ass checks that's like 6 by 7 feet.
Yeah,
I want the Ed McMahon of Mexico to hand me that check.
Yeah, and then you get then you can have a vase, and everyone wins in this deal. But all right, I mean, I don't know if she bought herself some karma there or not.
I would hope so. I would certainly hope so. I do get the idea, what she said. I have 3 boys. I just don't want to be the one to break it. I do get that. Like the second you realize it's priceless, there is a bit of a panic. Like there's not enough bubble wrap in Washington to keep that thing safe before you return it. But I don't know. You paid she paid $3.99 for it. It's priceless. You got to squeeze a couple mil out of this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just think I think that Mexico feels good about it too, then, don't they? I don't know. How these things work. I mean, was it stolen from a museum in Mexico? It just probably gathered up off the ground or something like that.
Yeah, no telling. I don't know. It was just in a thrift store one day. I mean, I've bought a lot of stuff at thrift stores. I've never been I met a guy once whose uncle, it was one of those true stories of he bought a framed photograph at a Goodwill for like $9.99. I mean, a framed painting, and then he removed the canvas, and there was one of the original Declaration of Independences was in the frame. That's a true story, and it was like there was a dude I met in Atlanta, and that had been his uncle, and I was like, oh, my first thought is, what do you mean he gave it to the Smithsonian? What are you, nuts? They'll pay for that. Somebody wants to auction that thing off.
Right.
I think they feel good about themselves. They've done something very, very bad in their lives, and they just want to make some sort of atonement, like, I don't know, hedging their bets, trying to balance their karma, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what, Zup? I think you're exactly right. This Anna Lee Dozier woman, she's got some bodies. She's done something really bad. You're right. Thanks for clearing that up for me. That's sometimes the simplest answer is the easiest to accept.
Mm-hmm.
She clearly is paying off a very guilty conscience.
I mean, maybe she stole 1 or 2 of those kids.
She could. Wow, straight to child thievery. I like it.
Perhaps trafficking. And all right, I'll give the artifact back, and then we're flush.
She could have at least gotten $500,000 from Mexico for it. And then she could have taken that $500,000, flown to San Francisco, gone into the very, very shishi neighborhood of Russian Hill, which is, I mean, it's as desirable a part of San Francisco as is any. And she could have bought a house there for $500,000. A 3-bedroom home in Russian Hill is for sale for $500,000, which is way, way, way under market value. And you're going, well, what's the catch? It hasn't been damaged in a fire. It doesn't need work. It still looks pretty good. Why is it only $500,000? Because if you purchase this house for $500,000, you can't move in until 2053.
Is that when San Francisco is supposed to be decent and livable again?
I think that's what they're saying.
2053.
What's the delay?
There is just something. They've got a. They've just got no. They've just got
ceilings they need to remove.
The posting says the home is tenant occupied to be sold as is, and we're extending the rent that this person's going to pay. We've given them a contract till 2053.
What kind of lease is that?
The current tenant pays $417 a month for rent, which is also way below market value.
What?
It's just one of these crazy things. You can buy this house, but you can't get it for 29 years. Well, in 29 years, it'll be worth millions. I mean, if someone's got nothing better to do with $500,000 than sit on it for 30 years, yeah, go for it. That thing will be worth a fortune, assuming San Francisco's still here in 29 years.
I mean, do you at least get the rent out of it? I mean, it's not enough to cover the mortgage, but it'd be a little payback.
I believe you do, yeah. But you can't raise the rent. This tenant, whoever this is, that's a pretty great deal. I mean, it's like rent control. Like in New York City, famously, still has rent control apartments. You'll still see somebody who's like, yeah, I've been here since 1984. I still pay $348 a month for this apartment. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, man, I don't have 30 years to give, but for a young person, and it's in San Francisco, which holds no interest to me. But yeah, right, that's stupid. Never mind. I just can't wrap my head around it. You've got someone in there that's renting till 2053. Good luck.
Yeah,
sell it to them.
I guess they just prefer to rent. They just they want you to come fix the hole in the wall.
Yeah, why not?
We hear a lot of stories about porch pirates during the holidays, when all the deliveries are coming in ahead of Christmas and boxes are stacking up on people's front porches. Of course, porch pirates, the sort of folks who go around and they take your delivery off your porch before you've brought it into your home. Thieves would be another word for them. This is my favorite porch pirate story probably ever. There's right outside Reading, Pennsylvania, there's an area called Sinking Spring or Stinking Spring, maybe at this point. There is a Ring camera that shows not one, but two porch pirates coming onto a porch to grab a package right after it had been delivered, and then they get into a bit of a fight over it.
Oh, man.
Caught by a doorbell camera. The package is delivered by a FedEx person. As the FedEx guy is walking away, he's still in the Ring camera shot. Two thieves in different vehicles pull up, jump out, and sprint to the front door to grab the package. One guy grabs the package. The other one picks up a flower pot to threaten him.
Yeah, well,
let's go.
All right, I'll take on a guy with a flower pot.
By the way, the family was home at the time.
Oh my God, it's out of control.
They were aware of it, but didn't open the door because they're like, well, there's two guys on the front porch. We're a little nervous about this. One of the two guys did make off with the package, which was a phone. It was an AT&T delivery of a smartphone. The resident says it's a little fishy that both thieves showed up at that exact moment knowing there was something very valuable on the porch, to which I go, well, yeah, that's an inside job for sure.
Yeah, phones. So the big story now going on in America right now is these porch pirates are showing up and waiting for the delivery vans to leave. Somehow they're able to track, and I didn't read the entire story. I wasn't that interested in it, I guess, is that they're able to track when phones are being delivered. Exactly when the phone is being delivered so that they can meet the delivery person there. And now you've got two showing up at the same time. Police Chief Stouch. There's a police chief name for you. Police Chief Stouch isn't cool with it.
To have these two scumbags come into our community and get into a potentially deadly altercation over stealing a package is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Potentially deadly. Those flower pots, man. Look out.
Yeah, if you don't have a secure area, do not have a phone sent to your place. Just go pick it up at your local, whatever it is, provider.
I wonder if the flower pot that guy was holding, what if they traced it back to its Mayan roots and it was priceless? That'd be pretty cool.
Guy was holding a priceless flower pot.
You give me that phone or the flower pot dies right here. 2,000-year-old flower pot. It's going back into pieces, back into earth from whence it sprang.
Man, we need something like a porch paralyzer, don't we? Something with more than just a Ring camera, something that does something about it, high voltage or...
just drops a big net, just like the Scooby-Doo kids would have rigged a net in the ceiling of your porch to fall down on somebody.
A trap door in your porch down into the dungeon basement.
That would be great.
Quicksand outside the door.
Even better.
Yes,
even better.
I like it.
I remember seeing this. It was like, wasn't there a thing in like the RoboCop movie, but then somebody actually designed, it was from South Africa a few years ago. There were so many carjackings happening, and they came up with you could have this thing added to your car, literally like a what do you call it? Not a fire extinguisher, a flamethrower would come out. There was a little tiny flamethrower under both the passenger and driver door that shot out. And so if somebody walked up to your door with a gun, you hit a button and their legs are on fire instantly. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, but I'm sorry. There's going to be some litigation. You're going to find yourself in trouble, especially if you hit the wrong button. You're at Sonic and you're at the drive up and the guy comes out on roller skates. Looks like someone's got two cheeseburgers and you're flaming up some high school junior who's got bad acne and he's trying to make some summer money delivering you your slushie.
Yeah, I mean, I like where you're going with it. I like the thought, but you're right. It'll get the person you don't want to get.
Yeah, it's just going to go wrong. When in the late 90s, when Napster and people were starting to figure out, well, there's this thing coming called an MP3, and people were taking CDs and putting them in their computers and downloading the songs or uploading the songs off a CD into their files. The record companies were, of course, doing what record companies did. Instead of trying to embrace the technology and figure out how to make this make sense for the consumer, they just went in full defensive mode. And we were making a record under the Sony music umbrella with Columbia Records in 1998. And a guy from the label came into the studio and just mentioned, he goes, oh, yeah, they're working on a new technology. Sony's developing. If you try to burn a CD, it will fry your hard drive in your computer.
Wow.
And I went, and I'm like a dumb drunk dude in a band, and I go, wait, I'm sorry, Sony is developing a technology that it'll be in your CD. So if you try to burn that CD, it'll destroy the computer that you've put it in. He goes, yeah. And I was like, you don't think that's going to be problematic? I just imagine 9 million lawsuits overnight. And he was like, well, I don't know. That's what they're working on. And then, of course, at some point they realized, like, yeah, that's going to be 9 million lawsuits overnight. It didn't happen. But I mean, you know, like at some point, I love the idea of how many people sat around the giant offices at Sony Music Worldwide and came up with that before someone finally went, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
we can't destroy computers at will.
Yeah, people's hard drives, just totally wiping out their hard drive. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
Well,
back to the drawing board, fellas.
It was a good thought. But back to this the flamethrower under the car thing. That would be kind of fun to have.
That's a nice touch. I don't know if I'd want to, under my car any more, inflammable, pods of, accelerant or anything like that in case I got into an accident. But I like where they're going with it. Exactly. We need some sort of deterrent more than apparently people don't mind their picture being taken anymore. I don't know if anyone does anything about that anymore, but ring bell cameras are just so you can watch your package run down the street.
That's pretty much what it is. I'm just trying to think because we've been lucky. As far as I know, I've never had a porch pirate incident. I mean, they could have taken a package we weren't expecting, and we were none the wiser for it. I don't make it a habit to go back and check the ring camera footage when I get home at the end of the day to see what I missed. Maybe I should pay a little bit more attention.
I've had a couple of friends, one here out in Woodbury, that sent us all a video of his ring bell camera, and this was quite a few years ago. But yeah, someone came up and just some lady just came up, snatched the box off and ran away. And then back then, oddly enough, we thought there could still be something done about it. Well, did you show it to the cops? I'm like, well, what are they going to do? Just bring in every woman that looks like this? Very middle-aged, blonde, overweight woman? I mean, good Lord. Well, can't do it.
These are tough. These are tough times for all of us.
Yeah.
There are. Speaking of smartphones, if your iPhone was delivered and it wasn't taken by a porch pirate, let's assume you actually got it into the house. Mm-hmm. You're probably aware of the fact that it can make all kinds of noises, all kinds of sounds, all kinds of ringtones. In case you're wondering what the most hated ringtone is. Oh, we know the answer, and we'll share it with you. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Monday, June the 24th. Good morning. If you're just now getting up, you've just slept in. Man, then you're winning at life today. Congratulations. I'd love to say the same for myself. My alarm did not go off this morning. I was up ahead of it, as is almost always the case. More often than not, my dog Chauncey wakes me up. He has between 3 and 4 a.m., that lung thing catches up to him. He'll be sound asleep for 6, 7, 8 hours, and then he'll just wake up. And just the noises that come out of that poor dog. Which then leads me to think about poor me, because I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. But then within a few minutes of waking up, I'm in a good mood. And then I turn my alarm off and I make some coffee and then I get going. But when I do set an alarm, it's a very nice little lilting, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's like, it's like a little harpsichord. It's an angelic little calming, soothing alarm. I like it. It works for me. There's one alarm tone apparently more people hate It gives people, it makes them break out in hives. It is truly a detested sound in a phone, and it goes by a really lovely name, By the Seaside. You've heard it before. Yeah.
Be like being woken up by a clown, it's too much bright and happy.
Yeah, you just think Pennywise is at the edge of the bed looking at you. Yeah.
Sounds like an evil ice cream truck to me.
Yeah.
That could certainly be what it is, yeah. Evil ice cream truck. I'm sorry, we've got poison push-ups here. I had a push-up phase, and thankfully I was rocking the push-ups one summer, and then at some point I remember getting sick. If you've ever thrown up a push-up, you've had your last push-up. I use that tone that's my daughter's ringtone. When Marley calls my phone, that's the sound it makes. And she was unaware of that for years, of course, and recently discovered it. She was very unhappy with me. She was like, you got to change that. And I was like, come on. And then she literally goes, I'm never calling you again. I was like, no, that's not fair.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to you. You're rarely in. The only reason she found out was I said, "Hey, call my phone. I can't find it," and then that's how she heard it. She was not happy at all. Somebody said that song feels like it's mocking me when I hear it. It's like making fun of you. If you set it as your alarm for the morning, then sure, you're going to feel mocked. You're gonna wake up. You'll be on the wrong side of the bed before you even know what's happening.
Yeah, I set that as someone's ringtone once, and then when they found out about it, they were very upset too. So, but I wanted to upset that person.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's why I used that ringtone. Yeah.
So it did the job.
Well, yeah, I listened to it. It's horrifying. It's terrible.
Does your alarm ever wake you up, or do you pop up ahead of it?
Early riser is the name of my alarm. I just looked it up, but no, I always wake up to my alarm.
Yeah.
Well, not always, most often.
Gotcha. I have a. I can't tell you the number of times I wake up and then I see I still have an hour or so, and then I fall back asleep. But then I will, if my alarm's set for 4:30, I'm big on. Then my eyes will open at 4:29, 4:28, right before. That happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't have that curse. I sleep. I go to bed at 11, and then you get up at 3. You tend to sleep just till the alarm goes off.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's at 11, man. I don't see 11 very often, man. I saw 11 Friday night after the KQ karaoke cruise, which was a blast.
Yeah, I tried to go to bed at 11 both times, 11 a.m. and 11 p.m.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
it's just consistency.
11 to 3, 11 to 3.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
that's your 8 hours. That's impressive.
That's it. Mostly.
Oh, man, that'll do it. All right, fair enough. Congrats again to Brandy, who won top honors on the KQ karaoke cruise.
And that's saying something. I was blown away. I was upstairs, and they were laying it down. Whoever the dude was that had the Amish thing going with the suspenders and the straw hat, which is not an Amish thing at all, but I believe he did have a beard without a mustache. Anyway, that guy was rocking. The birthday gal that laid down the rap, I keep wanting to say Humpty, but that wasn't it.
The Humpty dance.
I think it was another one, but it was like 5 minutes long, and she laid it down without even looking at the screen.
Incredible.
Yeah, incredible. And then downstairs, the same thing was happening. On the main stage performing tonight. But Brandy that was a tough call, because there was 4 or 5 people that could have easily won that thing.
Yeah, there's a couple dudes who did, they knock out the Sounds of Silence, or is it not rocking the Simon and Garfunkel late? That was incredible.
It was incredible, but a real downer. It was like
it didn't contribute to the joyous mood, the buoyancy that we had been enjoying up until that point.
Yeah, no.
But it was just an impressive feat, if you will.
Well,
for sure.
If it was accompanied by thunder, that would have been incredible.
Yeah, right.
that really would have been good, actually.
It wasn't. It was one of those nights for sure. But no, yeah, it was very entertaining. So nice to get the tables turned and just go out and be entertained and hang out with everyone. That was a great time.
It is now, we've crossed over the 9 o'clock Rubicon, which means I'm getting hungry. That's what happens around here this time of morning. And I'm thinking about what I'm going to have to do. As soon as the show ends, I'm going to have to get something to eat, but I don't want a big meal, because then, I gotta pace myself. I've got things to do after the show. I know this much. One thing I will not be eating after the show will be a zebra cake. Zebra cake, a Little Debbie's zebra cake because
Delicious. Love it.
the people at Eat This Not That, the healthy snack, the healthier snack choice folks, they have they have books, magazines. They have Little Debbie zebra cakes as the unhealthiest snack you can find.
Really?
The single unhealthiest thing you can find. And I'm looking at the package, and it looks so cute. Per tiny little cake, 320 calories, 14 grams of fat, 150 milligrams of sodium, 47 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein.
You can walk that off in a half hour.
34 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
0 fiber. This is just, the zebra cake is basically saying, let me just find a place in your colon and stay there.
Oh, I love it. Just get cozy in there.
34 grams of added sugar. Bam. That is that exceeds the recommended daily intake in a tiny little cake. Also on the list, Smucker's Goober Grape. That's the peanut butter and jelly combo in the same jar.
That's a shortcut. Yeah. Don't get lazy.
Yeah, again, 21 grams of added sugar. Just going crazy with it.
I like to take some Smucker's Goober Grape and smear it between a couple of zebra cakes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll do you. That'll set you free. What else made the list? Ritz Bits cheese cracker sandwiches. That's kind of that's the first thing on the list I could see myself actually trying sometime. Mm-hmm. Turtle Chex Mix. Never had it. Seen it. It's It's like Chex Mix, but then they've added chocolate and caramel coated popcorn.
Made it good. Yeah.
Man, how about this? The Little Debbie Swiss Roll, number 5. Yeah, I've worked a Swiss roll in my time.
Well,
I mean, come on. No?
No.
You guys aren't big on the Swiss rolls?
I don't know that one, I guess.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, they're like ho-hos.
They pretty similar. Same family.
Oh, all right.
Sure.
Sure, yeah, okay. Right.
This is distressing. Number 6 on the list is the good old-fashioned Doritos nacho cheese flavored chips.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, man. 18 grams of carbs, 210 milligrams of sodium. That's the kicker right there. Yeah. I had my yearly checkup, and my sodium level was high for the first time ever. And the guy's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I guess it's all these damn potato chips. I just can't stop eating them.
The morning Cheez-It.
Yeah, so I had some Doritos this morning. Yeah, I just finished them here about an hour ago. Here's what you do with that sodium test. Mm-hmm. Double your sodium intake right now and stick with it. Triple it if you can. I mean, just eat salt if you can. And then next time you go in, it's going to be really high. And then after that, just start eating like you normally would. And then it'll come down. You just got to set the bar higher.
Oh,
and then
nice.
come in under that. Yeah.
That's good. I kind of dig that.
Yeah.
Number 7 on the list is, I've never heard of this brand, Max, but it's Max Salt and Vinegar, not potato chips, Max Salt and Vinegar pork skins.
Oh, the pork rinds.
That just feels like that would be number 1 on the list to me. 400 milligrams of sodium in a 1/2 ounce serving.
Yeah.
God.
They've been killing people since 1932.
Man, no kidding. Twix candy bar, a top 10 unhealthiest snack. That's sad.
Come on. Really? I mean, as far as all the candy bars go?
Yeah, that's the first candy bar on the list.
It's
then number 10, Quaker Chewy Dips granola bar. It says granola, so you think, it must be okay for you. No, just.
And the Quaker dude makes you think breakfast. Oh, this is just a nice, fun breakfast bar. Yeah, they got you. Look, no artificial preservatives, no artificial flavors, no added colors, 100% whole grains.
Whole grain, coated in syrup.
Yeah, what are we supposed to do here to survive? Do you mind if I don't starve today?
A couple that I'm sure came to mind. Twinkies come in at number 20. Twinkies. And then number 19 is your pepperoni pizza Hot Pocket. Man. I tell you what, I don't remember the last time I had a Hot Pocket, but there was a time, and it was like Camelot. I mean, I couldn't get enough.
Oh, yeah.
Hot Pocket.
Yeah, baby. Nothing wrong with a freaking Hot Pocket when you need it, when you're drunk and need it.
Yeah, just let it cool off. Give it a minute. Burned many times I burned the roof of my mouth on a Hot Pocket. Oh, you get so anxious. And you're not having it in your right state of mind. You know, you're drunk. You've got to eat it now.
Yeah.
It's 11 grams of protein. I'm looking at the packages now. I found the story. 11 grams of protein. That's good. We need that.
You do need that protein. That's special protein from Hot Pocket pepperoni specifically.
just
Oreos are on the list. Chips Ahoy are on the list. Now we're getting into the old classics. Hostess Ho-Hos. There you go. All this is good. What are you kidding?
Yeah.
How about this? Number 37, the Cliff Bar chocolate brownie. Cliff Bar, another thing they tell you, it's good for you. You need that.
Yeah, I take those when I go skiing. That was my healthy snack. I'm powering up. All right, just eating more crap. Well, then I probably go for something that tasted a little bit better. Well,
go with a Little Debbie then.
Yeah, I might. All things in moderation,
Next
you can
time
buy a box of these and keep it around for a week, then you're doing okay.
Next time I go skiing, I'm going to make it a point when I get on the lift with a stranger, I'm just going to pull out like some carrots.
Yeah.
You want to top off a little energy snack and eat like carrot and some celery with like a paste that looks like homemade hummus, but I'll say, no, this is rich protein paste, just to watch the guy's face.
I probably would dig it. Skiers, I don't like skiers very much. They're very arrogant and all full of themselves.
Don't you like to ski?
I love to ski.
Well,
I never said anything about hanging out with skiers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me with. I mean, it's not as bad probably as the skier, but there's an awful lot of times I'm on a golf course having the time of my life, and then all of a sudden I overhear the conversation from the next hole over, and you're like, oh God, just get me away from this place.
Yeah, that's why I like to go to the munis. Just those out of town munis. At Princeton or down to Montgomery or something.
Sure.
Because I went to a nice place one time, and I'm changing my shoes. I jump out of the car and I'm putting on my golf shoes in the parking lot. And a gentleman approached me and said, we don't do that. We don't change our shoes here in the parking lot. You can go inside.
For God's sakes.
We have a locker room for that. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm going to beat you with my 5-iron.
Yeah. Hey, dude, what are you going to think when I take a leak in this parking lot at the end of the round?
Exactly. Why do you catch me out on the course, big shooter?
Unbelievable. So if you have like I have, if you've outgrown Hot Pockets, here's some good news. From England, researchers predict that lab-grown hamburgers as well as cricket salads will be commonplace meals by 2054.
Oh.
Yep, laboratory-grown meat as well as insect proteins are on the way. These will be very helpful reducing emissions and water consumption. So lab-grown meat, again, just those words, lab-grown meat, another great name for a punk band. Hello, Minneapolis with lab-grown meat. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I mean, we're going to get it last because we're America, right? So it'll start in the third world countries, and then we'll stick it to the Europeans and the Asians, and it'll at least get here last. We'll, stockpile the good food and feed the rest of the world crickets and lab-grown meat.
Cricket salads. There's a lot of people have been eating bugs forever. I mean, really, what's a crawfish? What's a crawdad? What's it's just a big bug at the end of the day.
Just a water-dwelling bug.
Yeah, I mean, a crab for that matter. It's just a big bug.
Yeah.
A lot of work, a little weird mustard thing happening. It happens.
I had a buddy bring back a bunch of dark chocolate-covered ants when he came back from China.
I had chocolate-covered bees.
Did you?
My dad brought back from Costa Rica.
You know what it tastes like? Right, Tony? It tastes like chocolate.
Yeah, or like Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was like, there's an ant in there, huh? Yeah, okay, whatever. If coat it and don't run out of chocolate, and I'll eat whatever you've got.
Right.
I remember eating some chocolate-covered espresso beans once, and I was like, it just tastes like chocolate. And then about an hour later, I wanted to peel all the skin off of my body.
Having a heart attack. They are tasty, though.
Truly was. Like, but when I say I had a few, I had like a whole bag.
Yeah.
And it was just real bad. Real bad move. It's what they call a gross miscalculation, I believe, was the term. Hey, the Eagles, not the Philadelphia Eagles, but the Eagles, man. The Eagles are going to be performing at the Sphere in Las Vegas. 8 shows this fall. You could be there. You can win a trip for 2 with flights, a stay at the Venetian Resort Las Vegas, dinner, 2 tickets to the show, plus a VIP experience package. Right now, text the national keyword Eagles to 95819 to enter for a chance to win. Tomorrow is June 25th, or as we call it around here, half Christmas. So we're going to have half Christmas Day on the KQ Morning Show. And I'm not even entirely sure what that means, but I'm feeling I'm excited about it. I'm looking very forward to half Christmas Day tomorrow.
Yeah, I have no idea what we're doing either, but I, like you, also very excited about it.
We know all. We're talking about naughty Santas.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about your drunken Christmas party
What?
stuff. We're going to dig into some games. We're probably going to drink some kegnog and try and get out of work. That's what we're going to do.
All right.
I like that.
I'm all on board. Ho, ho, ho.
There's nothing I like better than just dropping that trap and forcing Ryder to turn her microphone on. Like we just act dumb, and then she comes like, "Oh, come on,
I know.
Read your notes."
She just came in here a moment ago, and we had a brief conversation about it. But that doesn't mean I know what's going on. But I know it's going to be a good time.
It certainly is.
I'm making some cookies tonight.
No, you're not.
Nice.
Yes, I am. I'm going to make green cookies.
Oh,
if you're
really?
Minnesotan, you know what they are. They got the cornflakes.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not getting hardcore with the spritz, dude. That's too much work.
Hey, I have some butter you can use.
Excellent. Good plan.
That's pretty exciting. Half Christmas.
I do.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.